Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks here, giving you guys an update for Pick 3 Florida, my home state. I told you guys that I will be paying close attention to key digits. And what I mean by key digits, I'm looking for certain numbers that will give some really hot pairs, okay? Sometimes those key digits could be the number 0 or its mirror 5, all right? And sometimes it could be the number 7 or its mirror 2, okay? So every state has their own little something, but I've been noticing Florida, and this is just one particular way, but there are other patterns for your sevens and twos. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. And also, you can use other rundowns like a 317 to kind of play around with the ideas. So let me start you guys off with the first example. I went back to June 22nd midday. There was a hit in Florida for 931. Okay. When I put the rundown together, I immediately saw what I call a wing out. I saw double sevens and I had an extension of its mirror too. Okay. So, what I like to do is when I see these patterns, I like to pay close attention to them. Okay. And I want you guys to do the same thing. So, before we get into all of that other stuff. Some of you may be new here and you may not know how to count a rundown out. They're very simple. Once you know the hit that you're going to use, we're using June 22nd midday 931. We're going to add all of these numbers, each of these numbers down the columns. So for the first column, I would add 1 all the way down. So 1 plus 9 is 10. When you get to your two-digit numbers, only use your ones, place your 0. Okay? 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8, and 8 plus 1 is 9. You know that you did it right. The number you start with should be the number you end with. And then you would add 2 all the way down the second column, 3 all the way down the third column. 931, 931. Okay? So again, I'm referencing this particular rundown. Why? Because they have some special digits here. Okay? They're not going to always look like this on every rundown, and they're not going to come every day. So when you see them, pay attention. Now, another thing I want to bring your attention to are what we call mirror numbers. Okay? Mirror numbers, you need to know what this is. Some people in the Pick 3 community believe in them and some don't. I do. So when we say mirror numbers, pay attention. You see how this is a double 7 here, but then there's a 7 2 here. Okay, that's what we call a mirror number. 2 and 7, same number, just opposite. So when we say mirrors, we're saying 0 could be a 5 or 5 could be a 0. 1 could be a 6, 6 could be a 1. 2 can be a 7, 7 could be a 2. 3 can be a 8, 8 could be a 3. 4 can be a 9, and a 9 could be a 4. Okay, so those are mirrors. If you need them, they're here. Okay, all right. So now that we got that out the way, you're going to notice your 7 7. Okay, and it has an extension of it. So I call these types, they're false trips. They're connected, they're not straight across, they're not diagonal, but they're kind of like slant. So I call them wing outs. That's my phrase. Okay, so 772. Then you have a 277. So whenever you see this type, it could be run this way. You see it 727 or 222. See, they can change up. Either way, if you see this extension wing out with your sevens and twos or all sevens, you're going to want to pay attention to these patterns here. Okay. Why? Because they can be some really cool, easy pairs to find. Okay. I cannot guarantee that this will happen all the time. I cannot guarantee that this will hit all the time, but pay attention, Florida. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to identify where the doubles or mirrors are connected. On the right side, they're both connected on the same line, okay, columns 2 and column 3. So this 7 7 is going to be where I want to pay attention, and maybe it's mirror 7 2, okay. Another place, because if you think about it, you're going to see like a 9 0 pair here. That could be hot. You're going to see a 5 4 pair. That could be hot, right? Then you have this 5 9 and 9 5, which happens to be the same number, which is really cool, right? My eye would normally just go there and say, oh, there should be something happening there. But be careful, okay? But these are your hot pairs for this chart if you happen to see that. So 5-4 could be something hot, 9-0, and then you have your 9-5 and 5-9 pairs. Okay, that's telling me those could be hot, meaning pay attention to them. They could be coming up in a few days. If you're not patient, you may not want to use this strategy because, like I said, you may have to wait and be patient. Okay. Now, here's another trick that you may want to pay attention to, which pairs could be hotter. Now, if you guys have been with me long enough, you know I try to always look for a particular area. I notice when there's split doubles or mirrors, your pair should be right around there. If you notice the 5-4, you have a 9-1 pair, right? But under this 9-0, you have a 3-3. This is probably where you're going to want to pay close attention to. So the pair that sits right on top of those would be the 9-0. This is really hot. On this one, it would be your 9-5, but that 9-5 also repeats itself. So, something to look at. Now, the next thing is if it's in this area, okay, your third number that you may want to connect should be either on top or the bottom, okay? Sometimes even to the side, all right? So what would that look like if we were to put those in combinations? All right, let's say 9-0. So let's say we think 9-0 is hot, okay? And we don't want to play a whole bunch of numbers or look out for a bunch of numbers. Pay attention to what's around it, okay? So 9-0-3 could be something. I like 9-0-3 because it repeats itself. 9-0-1 could be something. Maybe even your 9-0-7. Maybe it's mirror 2 that it's connected to 9-0-2. Okay, let's say we just stop there. If you think something around the 9-5, you can do the same thing, okay, because they like to mirror on us. 9-5-8, 9-5-1. Maybe your 9-5-7, 9-5-2. Okay, just throwing some numbers out there. Okay, so let's say we paid close attention. I should have gave that space, but that's okay. We just held on to these numbers just for a couple days. Well, if we did, the next day, it happened that quick. The turnaround, June 23rd evening, there was a hit of 093. And where do we have it? We have it as 903 under our list. And if we look here, we have 903 twice. We have it 903 here, 903 this way. Okay. Now I'm going to give you another trick. Pay attention to the numbers around your 2s and 7s that are in the corners. Okay. Like you got your set, your 2 right here. You notice the 3-9 pair is mirrored. Oh, excuse me, not mirrored, but it surrounds that 2. You got a 9-3 and a 9-1. Well, we already thought that 9-0 was hot, so 9-0-3, everything kind of connects, right? Okay. Sometimes they work out perfectly like that. Sometimes, but pay attention to them. The 093 was right there. Like that so far? If you do, definitely give your girl a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more. All right. So let me take you to another example. Yeah, we got a few of them. Okay. Because like I said, they don't come every day. June 25th wrapped around evening. There was a hit of 892 for Florida. Okay. What do you notice? You have your 772. There's your wing out, right? 277. Okay. So this is letting me know this is all connected. Wing out, pay attention. I'm going to pay attention to the 1-5, 3-9, 6-5, 8-9. Okay. Those could be all hot pairs. Well, I don't want to think about even trying all of them, but I'm going to look for some really hot ones. So what I want to do is go back to my split doubles or mirrors. You notice on this, there's a double 1, 1, 1, and then 6, 6. So I'm going to pay attention to the pairs closest to those split doubles. Okay. If you happen to notice, 1-5 is part of that double. See how that lands right there? That's why I like using them. Find little things that keep repeating in your rundowns in your state. And that's how you can sometimes find some really cool patterns. So, anyways, we have 1-5 and 6-5. Okay, those could be the hottest pairs there. So I'm just going to write that down. 1-5, 6-5. Okay. Now, since the pair 1-5, pay attention. So what I would do is I'm looking at the numbers on top of that 1-5 and on the bottom. Okay, that's just my preference, but feel free to do as you want. So 1-5-7, okay, could be something. 1-5-2, okay. 1-5-0, and then 1-5-3. Okay, all right. If we're going with the 6-5, maybe 6-5-7. All right, 6-5-3 and 6-5-5. Okay, and I would just hold on to those numbers for a couple days. Well, you really had to, because on June 29th, 7-1-5 hit. We used the green one here. Told you that 1-5 pair was hot. 1-5-7. Yeah. Or 7-1-5 right there. Nice. Takes a couple days, but if you're looking for some really hot pairs, that's why I said those key digits can mean so much, and it can really help you out. And what I like about this, once you kind of find your pairs in your areas, and they can always change, so you have to study, okay? You kind of know the areas where to look for your third number. You kind of complete it. Now you see how we connected that 3-9 that was wrapped around the 2? I want you to try something here too. Look at the 2 again, okay? You see a 1-7-7-3. So that was letting me know 1-7. You see how there's 1 and 7 get 1-5, 1-7 pair. So that literally lined itself up. Okay. So you're looking for that pair that's going to surround it by one of the 2s on the corners. Okay. Because 3-7, you couldn't really get 3-7 using that 1-5 pair. But that 1-7, that 1 was already part of the 1-5 pair. Okay. Just let's go back here. 9-0-3, right? You have 1-9. Now you could have did 1-9. You probably would have had to do 1-9-0, which would have been hot. And then 3-9, which also would have been hot. And 3-9-0. Okay, so those would have been hot. It depends on how you're looking at it. Okay, so pay attention. Sometimes the backup pair to help you determine the third number could be wrapped around the 2. I thought I'd show that to you. I almost missed it myself. Let's go to another one. June 27th evening. Okay, Florida had a hit of 504. What do you see? Your wing out 727. This time triple 2. Nice, right? So I'm going to look around for my hottest pairs. Now you have a 09, 45, 4040. Okay. So if I'm looking for my split. This time it's a split mirrors. They have 38, 83. So I'm going to go with 45 as a hot pair. Okay, underneath, and a 40 as a hot pair underneath. Okay, because that's the closest to the splits. And what I'm going to do is the same thing. Okay, I'm literally going to use the numbers above and the numbers below to put my combinations together. That's it. So I will go 402, 407, 406, 403. Okay. All right. If I think that the 4-5 could be hot, I could go 4-5-2. I just see 4-5-2. Then maybe 4-5-8 and 4-5-6. Okay. Now another thing too, check around your 2s here and your 2s on this corner. Okay. And I'm telling you that for a reason. All right. So guess what hit 402 June 30th evening. 402. We can catch it right here. 402. Okay. Our hot pair and our third number are right in this area. Now watch this. Now 8-4, I didn't see an 8-4. I saw 4-3. And the 6-4, I would have done 4-0-6 as a hot kind of pair. But if you look at this 7 over here, I told you, look on both corners. Maybe you want to condense those numbers. Look at that. You got the 4-4-2-2-0. The whole thing wrapped around 4-0-2, 4-2-0. So those were your hottest pair there. Okay. Again, just pay attention. That third number helper is going to be wrapped around one of the 7s or 2 on the corners. So pay attention. I almost missed that. Okay. This was a little lengthy, I know, but I want to make sure I do what I can for Florida because we got to get with it. Okay. The other states are kicking us for some of us. So I'm trying to step up my game. So, anyways, Florida, I hope this helps all of us. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, pay attention. There are other patterns. You will find more when you start looking around your 2s and 7s. I can tell you that. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure if you haven't already, join the membership, okay? And we'll see you guys on the next video.